As per 90 Fiance rumors, Colt Johnson is about to have his leg amputated while he's being nursed back to health after his latest life-threatening injury by co-star Cortney Reardanz. Colt has been in the news for his split with Vanessa Guerra and his subsequent franchise comeback. Colt, who had been teasing his return to the franchise for a few months, now even sparked romance rumors with a surprising cast member. Courtney from Florida is a real estate agent. Courtney was first seen in 90 Day Fiancé before the 90-day season 1 in 2017. Courtney was in a long-distance relationship with Spanish actor and model Antonio Milan. Courtney hasn't managed to leverage her star power as a 90 Day Fiancé cast member since then. However, is her romance with franchise villain Colt going to make her relevant again? After all, it's not just Colt that 90 Day Fiancé star Courtney was recently romancing from the cast. Courtney and Antonio had met online and flirted on text messages before deciding to meet in person. Courtney flew to Spain to meet Antonio, but once she arrived there, she realized Antonio wasn't really into her. Courtney had wondered if Antonio was a catfish, but the situation here was worse. Antonio took Courtney along with him to a beauty pageant he was judging instead of treating her to a date. Antonio didn't look like he was with Courtney for a green card, but he may have used her to come on the show and get exposure for his modeling career. Antonio was a player. However, Courtney was also at fault for expecting Antonio to act like he was her boyfriend of several years when they had barely spent any time together in person. Antonio had never made any promises to Courtney, yet she complained about how he didn't want a future with her. As Courtney still stayed and tried to make it work, she started to come across as more and more desperate. She was obviously blind to the red flags, but somehow decided to call it quits over FaceTime because she was frustrated by Antonio's reluctance to commit. Courtney's next 90 Day Fiancé stint was on 90 Day Fiancé, self-quarantined in 2020. The show documented the lives of cast members as they quarantined themselves at home during the COVID-19 pandemic. Except that Courtney was quarantined at the house of a man named Andy for 3 weeks. This time, Courtney was refusing to commit to Andy, who already considered her his girlfriend. She was creeped out by how stalkerish Andy felt when he was putting their photo on his screensaver or photoshopping their photo above the fireplace. Interestingly, Courtney and Andy were engaged by May 2020. Courtney shared an Instagram story where she claimed she was getting married to Andy in August 2020 and had already sent out wedding invitations to close friends. However, Courtney and Andy never married. Andy was spotted on a date with Anfisa Arkhipchenko at a soccer game in Los Angeles in September 2021. Courtney was later dating a Pakistani man named Mustafa, who she went to meet in Malaysia.